Every time gold and silver have a correction like they did 2 or 3 weeks ago during their 12-year bull run, the anti-real money crowd comes out in droves. The gold bubbles finally popped, they say, just as the last bubble did in 1980. Never mind the fact it took 18% interest rates back in 1980 by Reagan and Volcker to push the gold and silver down, which this time around, with our national debt almost $17 trillion, 6% interest rate would have us back around $1 trillion in interest payments alone. After the last crash, gold was in a bear market for nearly 20 years, and so they're saying that this is going to happen again. Kudlow was on TV saying how, the gold trade is over, king dollar, blah blah blah. The mainstream media gives you the same impression as the paper futures markets collapsed and pushed the physical price of gold and silver down. Noted economist Paul Krugman wrote a recent article, "Gold doesn't shine. No inflation. We should print even more," New York Times columnist said. Let's see what the people around the world think of all this no need to have precious metals talk. I put together some quotes and some information from the past few weeks of what's really happening in the physical market that I thought you all would be interested in. It's what you saw here in this video. If this was a real bubble popping, would have been people rushing to sell their gold and silver, but that's just the opposite of what was happening in the video you just watched. Silver Bullion Pte, one of Singapore's largest suppliers of coins and bars to retail investors, have been experiencing depleting inventories and doubling of delivery times. Holdings of bars fell to just 54 ounces from 60,000 ounces 2.5 weeks ago. According to founder Gregor Gregerson, it now takes at least 6 weeks for new supplies to arrive in the country, up from 2 to 3 weeks previously, he said. Keep in mind that this information is from varying times over the last week to 2 weeks. So I don't have dates on this stuff. We worked all weekend to keep the factory running, to make more stock, and that was only to fill the orders, Mr. Curry said from the facility founded in 1899. We're being inundated with people buying products. We haven't seen this type of demand since 2008 financial crisis. Our business has doubled. We're racing to try and get as much stock out as we can, said Ron Curry, Perth Mint Sales and Marketing Director. We are unable to get supply as refiners have sold out till 2nd or 3rd week of May. Gold for immediate delivery is quoted at $10 on London prices, said a dealer with a state-run bank. Supply could return to normal within 20 days. Sales are more than 150% higher than last month, according to Shane Bissett, Director of Bullion and Commemorative Coin at the Royal Mint. Sunil Kashyap, Head of Precious Metals and Foreign Exchange in Asia for Bank of Nova Scotia, a leading bullion dealer, says physical demand is just absolutely incredible. There's a genuine fear of inflation. We haven't had 2 back-to-back days like this since 2008 after the collapse of Lehman Brothers, said David Beam, Vice President at New Orleans-based coin dealer Blanchard & Company. Let's not forget the U.S. Mint that ran out of 1/10 ounce gold coins on April 23rd after demand more than doubled from a year earlier. At this point, the U.S. Mint has sold 209,500 ounces of gold coin so far in April from 62,000. And I'll leave you with this data from the Bank of Mexico from a blog of a Mexican economist. All of these links are going to be below, by the way. I'm linking up where I took all these quotes from. They'll all be in the more info section. You could read more on this if you want. Data from the Bank of Mexico shows that by April 23rd, more than 174,000 ounces of silver had been sold. The Silver Libertad coin that they have in Mexico. In only 23 days of April, they sold more than all of the ounces of silver sold in January, February, and March of this year combined. So this is what's happening, everybody. And I did a video on shortages and premiums. You know, I think that the shortages are probably short-term just because of the demand. The demand is just incredible around the world, and that's probably causing short-term shortages. I mean, every time I hear shortages, it's like there's silver to be bought, but I mean, they're waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks now. Some people are waiting to get metal. I mean, I went into the coin shop last week and he had nothing. So just wanted to let you people in on what's really happening. I know a lot of you already know this, but I have some good links below, so check them out. Take care.